Before covering this card, big shoutouts to Jalen Britt for reminding me of this card's existence. Fiend Comedian is literally the only coin flip normal trap card to actually be good in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! The thing about coin flip cards is that they either have an extremely powerful effect if you get lucky, or an extremely garbage effect if you get unlucky, and people really don't like the RNG aspect at all. However, Fiend Comedian is kind of an exception to the rule. With this card, you either get to banish every single card in your opponent's graveyard if you call the flip coin correctly, or you get to mill cards from the deck to the grave equal to the amount of cards in your opponent's graveyard if you call it incorrectly. So in other words, flip a coin. If heads, you win. If tails, you win. I'll take that any day of the week. Now you might be thinking, but Yasin, how is this card supposed to be relevant in the current meta? Well, this card shines the brightest in the Tier Elements Mirror Match because there are a lot of cards that mill. There's the Meru for 3, there's Chaos Ruler, there's freaking Kalos. You're going up against a fat graveyard, and you can either banish every single card to make it so that you kind of even things out with your opponent, or you mill a lot of cards so that you can trigger a lot of effects. So every single Tier Elements, every single Shadal, the trap cards to search and recycle back Tier Elements monsters, which can get you a massive advantage. Imagine you drew an absolute dogshit hand, and then you have double Fiend Comedian, you set both, and then on your opponent's turn, you go chain, you mill freaking 15 cards, and you banish every single card in your opponent's graveyard. We really don't see these kind of cards very often where either you get to unbreak or you get to make your opponent lose everything in one shot, and Fiend Comedian is definitely very refreshing. The only issue is that you don't really get the effect that you want based on your needs, because sometimes you might want to banish every single card in your opponent's grave, but then you mill cards, and then sometimes you want to mill cards, but then you banish everything, so it's a little 50-50 depending on the situation sometimes. Obviously, the majority of the time you really don't care, because whether you banish everything or whether you mill cards, you're getting so much advantage that you really can't complain, but again, depending on the context, you might get screwed over. But yeah, as I said, this card has immense potential, and if timed correctly, this card definitely has the potential of making you do a huge comeback out of absolutely nowhere, even if you bricked. So that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about Fiend Comedian, especially in Tier Elements Mirror matches, and maybe against other decks in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.